Okay, so here we are in the garage in for FP2. We've already done the track acclimatisation and the tyre management one. So next one is fuel cell. We can do whichever one we want. I'll always do race strategy in FP3. So we'll try and get two done here as well. Fuel saving. This will be an interesting one. This is new. So we'll jump out and do this. And this will be lifting and coasting to save fuel whilst probably having to beat a delta time, pardon me, as normal. So here we go at the final corner. Let's get the DRS. So the only way to save fuel is lift and coast. If we do a lap full banzai, we'll be well within the delta, but we'll be in the red, which isn't too good. I wasn't really saving much fuel there, was it? It's going to be difficult, this one. I think I might struggle on this. Right, so we'll go again then. We've had data lap time, yeah, everything was... Oh, I forgot to lift off there in that corner as well. Ah, come on. 132.3, yes, I was knocking out 128s on the same set of tyres, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. But yeah, I'm not enjoying the fuel saving one. I can't get on top of that at all. I'm not lifting off early enough, and yeah, we're so much down on power, so I'm going to completely abandon that, to be honest. I'm not even going to attempt it anymore because it's just a waste of tyre life. And we'll move on to the qualifying pace one, which is something more I'd like. This is the ultra soft tyres, and it is go as quick as you can. So we'll jump straight out of there then, and we'll get this done hopefully. And yeah, hopefully we'll get 50 points out of this to make the fuel saving one just a bit better. Yep, so out lap is done. And this is basically flat out, balls to the wall, see what we can do. It's not bad, 3 temps. Oh, we've gone purple. And we managed to set a 27.9 as well, so we're into the 27s. So then, there's the qualifying pace one done. We've exceeded the target. I'm not going to do the fuel saving one because I just can't get a hold of it. I'm going to have to do that another time. And all we've got left to do now is, we didn't manage to do the fast sector one in the qualifying pace. We've got the informed strategy and the car setup one to do as well. So we've got the race strategy one to do next in FP3, which would be quite fun, I think, on the super soft tyres. We'll just have a look at the... see what tyres I have got available left. I have, well, obviously I've used these two in this qualifying session, and we've got a set of ultra softs and super softs left to use in FP3, which is nice because we'll use the super softs for the race simulation test, I think is whatever it was, and then we can go out towards the end of the session with some low fuel in the ultra softs and see if we can improve on our pace so far, which is nice. We're in the 27s. I think that's probably exceeded my own expectations, to be honest. 24-1 from Bottas on the ultra softs. Where are we? Oh, we are still last though, but we are still continuing to improve. I mean, Alonso on the ultras is only 3 temps quicker than us, so we'll probably be at the back of the field, unfortunately. But we're competitive anyway. We are in the worst car. You have to remember that. If I was in like the Williams or something and I was in this position, I'd be a bit upset. But we're in the Sauber. We're bang on the pace really with everyone else around us. So, you know, as long as we're like that, that's all I care about. So we'll end the session, and yeah, we'll do FP3 and get the rest of the practice all sorted out. So then, we're in the garage for FP3. Let's have a look at the old what we got going on then. So we've got the race strategy. We'll jump out there straight away and do that. 5 laps in on the super soft tyres. And not too sure what this is. It'll be to be an expected delta time, which is going to be a bit worrying if we can manage it for 5 laps. So 29.742. We're over 8 temps quicker at the end of the first lap, which is nice. So we made a mistake coming out of the first corner. so I've got a lot of time to find. But I have noticed that the Delta lap time has changed. It's increased to an 8:23, so they've taken into account the tyre wear rates. But I've got 5 temps to find from somewhere. Lap 4 is even better, over a second. So then the race strategy 1 is done. We've only managed to get green on that because unfortunately we was pretty slow in the second lap. Then on the 5th lap coming at the final corner, I sort of kind of ran out of fuel, which is why we was like 7 seconds off the pace or something like that, which is a bit annoying. I'm not going to do the fuel saving one, and the team objective ones I think we'll leave it at that. We've got 190 out of 275, which is all right, I suppose. As for our overall lap time, bit off the pace, but I'm tempted to go out there and do a few laps on the ultra soft tyres just to see if we can get into a low 20 or a high 27 again. I may or may not. I don't really see much of a point really, so I'll probably end the session there and yeah, just take it as we see. I've also managed to unfortunately off camera, although it has annoyed me a little bit, picked up a 5-place grid penalty for qualifying, which means unless something amazing happens I will be starting last. Essentially what happened was Raikkonen came out the pits, he slowed in the pit lane exit if you like, and then all of a sudden sped up a little bit going into the apex as I was already there, and this happened at the end of my 5th lap on the race practice test if you like. I clipped him and spun him round and I got a 5-place grid penalty, so I'm quite annoyed about that really, but I would have been expected to be starting probably last anyway. So I'll end the session then and yeah, see what resource points we get and yeah, get ready for qualifying. So there we go then, Hamilton, Vettel and Raikkonen, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, Stroll up to 4th place. The Williams is so overpowered in this game, it really should be down in about 10th and 14th, but at the bottom then, there we are. Oh, Verline's got a 5-place grid penalty as well. So if we qualify ahead of Verline, we'll start ahead of him, which is nice. Not too sure what Verline has done. The race director there, we'll have a quick look at Verline got a collision with Van Dorn and actually put him out, and oh look at that, I actually put Raikkonen out, I didn't realise that. So Verline's taken Van Dorn out and I've taken Raikkonen out, and we've both been given grid penalties, so oh dear, what a pity, never mind. Oh well, that happens. We'll go on to qualifying anyway and see if we can get ahead of Verline at least. So 52 points only for the 3rd practice session. We lost 3 points for the grid penalty as well. Oh, new rival. Oh, this will be Verline, who's sitting 10 feet away from me. So we'll just talk about Verline like he's not there. Introduction to driver rivalry. This will be exactly the same as 2016, and of course when you start a new career mode, the first person you get is your own teammate, so we're looking to beat him as quickly as we can. Listen to voicemail again from F1 2016. This will be our qualifying goals. It's probably going to be something like 19th and beat Verline. Bang on the money, qualify 19th and beat Verline. So basically out qualify a teammate and we'll hit both targets. We've both got grid penalties, so if we do beat him in qualifying we'll start ahead of him in the race. Nothing else to look at really. View R&D tree. I might look at this after the race because we'll get a bit more obviously once qualifying in a race is done. I'm tempted to change engine. Should I change engine for qualifying or should I just keep it as it is and see what we can do? 41 laps. I mean, I'll probably only do about 5 laps in qualifying, in flying and out laps as well. And then in the race I think it's 17 laps, or 15 laps it says there in the top left, so 15 laps straight away drops it down to 26, qualifying will be down to about 20, so we might end up having to change. I mean, if we change something now we'll be starting at the back because we'll take, oh no we won't, will we? We can change it for free. I don't know really, we're already a third of the way through our engine lifespan and the MG UK is the worst at 36. There's the gearbox doing 18%. That's not too bad. I'm happy with that. The gearbox will obviously last a lot longer. But all of these, yeah, this is. I don't know really. I don't know. Should we just wing it for the first couple of races and just see how we get on? I think it's probably the best thing to do. Should we go straight to short qualifying then? And we'll do that and see what we can do if we can beat our teammate. So here we are then in the garage for qualifying. What tyres have we got? all of the ultras. We'll go straight on ultras. I don't really see the point in doing super soft runs. We'll have a look at the session screen very quickly. Yeah, it looks quite cloudy. Oh, what? 11.5 minutes? It was only 12 minutes. Oh, of course, yeah, because the game takes short qualifying as FP3, as Q3 now, which means you've only got 12 minutes. Oh, we have to get out there quickly then. We have to get out there right now then. And once the car's left pit lane, park firmer, yeah, I'm happy with the setup. We'll just wing it for this first race. So yeah, we're going to have to get out there straight away then and try to get at least 2 flying laps and 2 different set of compounds, because we've only got 12 minutes to do it. Well, I don't know what this lap will be. It'll be in the 27s, I think. But I wasn't happy with it. I made a few mistakes. Yeah, it's coming into the pits then. And the manual pit limiter will need to be done. Pit limiter engaged. And yeah, so not the... oh, we've got Williams behind us. Oh, and a Red Bull as well. Yeah, I can definitely go quicker. I reckon I can get a 27... Oh, I don't know, a 27.3 maybe. We'll have a look, see whatever everyone else has done lap times wise, but I reckon we can probably knock 5 tenths off that. Oh, we've made a mistake. Oh, almost been clouted by a Ferrari. Ran wide coming at the fast left-right chicane, so our qualifying session will end. Perez has not set a lap time, so it'll be 19th or 20th after the penalty. So yeah, pretty disappointing. But it's still only the first race. So the qualifying session has ended. Hamilton takes pole by a tenth of a second from his teammate Bottas. Raikkonen and Verstappen third and fourth. Massa in fifth place. Vettel, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Magnussen and Hulkenberg rounded out the top 10. Then the Force Indians of Ocon and Perez. Kvyat is 13th. Sainz is 14th. Alonso's 15th. Stroll is back in 16th. Palmer in 17th. Verline in 18th. So he's managed to get ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn. And there we are. Yeah, we're a bit off the pace, unfortunately. So, yeah, we are starting plumb last for the race. And, well, yeah, the only way is up, really. Don't let me down. I think I might be letting quite a few people down. Oh, 20 laps of fuel. We won't be having that. We'll drop that right down to 15. Or 16.4, okay. Sunny conditions throughout. Ultra soft and super soft is the desired strategy. I could do the personalised one, which means it takes me another lap, which is a little bit slower. We'll just do this one, which is fine. High tyre management doesn't really bother me. I'm sort of hoping, really, for a safety car, or maybe even a virtual safety car in the first couple of laps, because then I might bolt into the pits and go for a set of soft tyres, which will comfortably get me to the end of the race, and then hopefully might move up the order a little bit when other people pit. But that's all hindsight, really. I'm not too sure what to expect. I'm certainly not going to be doing a two-stop strategy in a 15 lap race, because it is not only 17 seconds slower, but just makes no sense whatsoever. So that's the strategy then. We'll get the formation lap out the way, and yeah, the first race of the F1 2017 career mode will be beginning. So then here we are on the grid, first race. Let's get them revs up high and go. Oh, I've made a poor start straight away. Got my fingers all confused, and we're going to be a long way back into turn 1, which is not too bad, really. I can sort of hang back a little bit and maybe watch some of the drama unfold. I'll be able to catch up to these guys fairly quickly. Let's try and keep it easy if we can, going around the first lap. I don't want to end up knocking a wing off or anything like that early on. Oh, was a bit more aggressive there. I might have been able to get Van Dorn, and now we've dropped back a little bit. And I really hope this first race isn't going to be me at the back of the field. Oh, we've hit the back of Van Dorn. And we've got some damage on our wing. Oh, it's going to really hurt us now. It's all kicking off ahead of us though, look at this. Jeff is asking if I want to change to an alternate strategy. I think we will. And I fancy a move up the inside here. Oh, come on! Now I've got no front wing at all. Oh, I've made contact with Van Dorn there. So now I have no front wing. So, this race is just going from bad to worse, isn't it now? Oh, look at this. So come back out the pits now. We've dropped a long way back from everyone else. Pit limiter off. Let's try and look after his tyres as best as we can. I still hope we can get something out of this. I'm going to need a bit of a miracle. Yellow flag, and there's Grosjean's car to the side of the track. It's like a mechanical failure rather than a crash, so that's nice to see it actually. Cars actually retire. Oh, Van Dorn's in the pits again. Not too sure what's happened to him, but we're up to 18th. So Van Dorn is catching us, and he's going to be with us probably the end of the next lap. And if you notice on the right hand side there, my internal combustion engine is now at 50%, and it's gone yellow, which is a bit alarming. There's a scrappy exit as well. Here he comes. Oh, and I thought I could try and get the undercut on him. Oh, Bottas has won the race. Christ, we were close to getting lapped. So we're coming at the final corner. We do finish our first race in 19th, but yeah, we are struggling for pace early on here. So there we go then. Bottas starting second on the grid takes the win. Raikkonen, who was third, takes second, and Hamilton, who started pole, takes third. Rest of the top 10: Vettel, Massa, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Perez, and Magnussen. Verstappen, who started fourth, actually finished outside the points. Everyone did a one stop. Scrolling down to the bottom, Grosjean of course didn't finish. Oh, Van Dorn only made one pit stop as well, but he obviously had problems somewhere, and he did beat us, and our lap time there is 29.988 is our best. So yeah, we're off the pace. So then the resource points for our race, we picked up 97, session participation 25, clean lap 93% of it to 23, no positions gained, and one infraction. I did get a warning for exceeding track limits. So 2.666 overall. Our rivalry, we're now quite well behind Verline already, which is a bit disappointing. And our reputation level has gone down with everyone quite a bit. Up 4 for finishing 19th or higher because Grosjean retired. And then we lost 3 because we failed to beat Verline. So overall we went up 1, but nothing major. Our reputation is still alright early on. Williams, not too bad really. Introduction to the career score. Again, F1 2016 makes a return on this little bit. This is basically adding up my performances in all the practice, qualifying, and race sessions and everything else I've done. See what kind of score I'd end up with. 5,280. Not that it really bothers me too much. And who's this bloke? Jonathan. Oh, okay. The old neck. Yeah, alright. Right, Jonathan. He definitely went to private school, didn't he? He owns a lot of race cars. These will be the classic cars. Essentially, during the course of the season, you'll be invited to do some different things. We've got two here. Overtake challenge on the short version of the Silverstone track. This event begins with a rolling start, and the goal is to overtake the target number of cars before the time runs out. And the selected car is Damon Hill's championship-winning Williams, the FW18 from 1996. We've also got Pursuit at the short version of the Suzuka track in Japan. Your opponents are in slower cars, but they each have a head start. Overtake them all before completing your allocated laps, and the car is the R26 Fernando Alonso's Renault from 2006. I'm not going to set either of these straight away, and we'll have a quick look at the laptop, although nothing major would have happened there. We'll have a quick look at the view R&D tree, see if there's anything here we can do straight away. What's our chassis like? Pretty poor, the worst by a mile. The durability, that doesn't matter, it's our own personal. Powertrain is, again, pretty poor as well. And the aero is pretty poor. So we've got to think of something here to try and use. We've got 2,666 points. I could probably do them both for this one here. And develop the wings a little bit, which will bring us up. The chassis itself, we can only do this for 1,000. And the powertrain as well. We can probably improve a little bit. It's all 1,000, even the durability is, or 500 there for a general wear to try and bring that down. Increased durability of all power unit components as well as the gearbox by 10%. Just getting that one done, which could be helpful because we're already over 50%, and I think our MG UK, which means it won't see the end of the second race. But I'll leave it for now. I'll leave all upgrades for now, and then come back to it probably at the end of the second week. And yeah, then spend some credits. So we'll end the episode there anyway. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a relatively big baptism of fire into this game. I'm still getting used to the handling, still getting used to the setup, still getting used to everything about the game really, but I am enjoying it. It is good fun. I'm going to probably stick with Sauber for as long as I can, and of course, yeah, I mean, it's going to be quicker to upgrade parts, which means we'll jump up the order initially, and hopefully when we do that, we make some progress up the field as well, because I don't really want to be scrapping around for last place week in, week out. It's going to be boring for everyone, including me. But yeah, it's only been one race, so onwards and upwards really.